Hello, BookTube. I'm once again using new/old technology, the laptop on which I filmed my first 2,000 videos. I have returned to it because the iPhone on which I was filming my videos died. It up and died. And I still haven't cleared out enough memory from my backup iPhone to film videos on it. I don't want to be halfway through a video, especially something I can't refilm. And have the video suddenly stop. The sheer towering rage of having that happen with that older iPhone, which only has about, I think, 10 gigs of storage on it total. So the towering rage of having that happen with that old iPhone is what prompted me to discard it, even though there was nothing wrong with it. That's what prompted me to go out and find a cell phone that had an enormous amount of storage on it. And now that new cell phone died, up and died. I don't know if it's salvageable. I still have to gird my loins to go to a tech shop and see if they can save it. But one way or another, I thought we'd do some mail. I have 3 packages from publishers, all in these white envelopes, so all probably from the same publisher. Let's see what we have here, and we'll see how this mail haul comes out as well. We'll see how it looks. Oh, fantastic. Okay, slim little thing. Okay, this is by Hideo Yokoyama, which is a name that has occurred on this channel before, a long time ago. Because he did a book called 6-4, an enormous Japanese crime police procedural thriller that was translated in English years ago, called 6-4. This is a much smaller thing. This is Prefecture D. This is the professional world in which 6-4 occurred. Only these are 4 novellas. All of them together are only a tiny friend. This is one chapter of 6-4. And these are translated from the Japanese by Jonathan Lloyd Davies. I loved 6-4. I thought it was a little bit on the sleepy side, but I really enjoyed it. And it has stuck with me. I wish that I still had a copy. Let's see here. Do we have anything for this book? No, we don't. No, we don't. Right. It's all blurbs for 6-4. This is a collection of 4 novellas set in the same precinct as 6-4. Do we have? Okay, so the novellas they each take place in 1998. I imagine that's when this book came out. Is that right? Yes. Season of Shadows, Cry of the Earth, Black Lines, and Briefcase. Prefecture D continues Hideo Yokoyama's exploration of the themes of obsession, saving face, office politics, and interdepartmental conflicts, placing everyday characters between a rock and a hard place, and then dialing up the pressure. So that's more forays in this world. That is great. I think the publisher has sent me an ebook of Prefecture of 6-4. I'm not 100% sure about that. I should check. I'd kind of like to reread 6-4 before reading this. And this comes out in early October. Kind of a slightly painless introduction to this whole fictional world. That doesn't represent quite so much the reading commitment of 6-4. All right, let's see what this next one is. Yeah, these are all from publishers. Great. Okay, this one is September. This is a September release. What have we got here? Oh, fantastic! The Collected Stories of Shirley Hazard. Great, fantastic. National Book Award winner for her final novel, The Great Fire, and an NBCC award winner for her classic 1980 novel, The Transit of Venus. Shirley Hazard, who died in 2016, also wrote nonfiction throughout her life, including notably Green on Capri, her memoir of her friendship with Graham Greene, and 2 books about the United Nations, for which she worked in the 1950s. But it was the short story form with which Hazard launched her career, publishing her first story in The New Yorker in 1961, the beginning of a long and fruitful relationship with the magazine. Now, FSG is very excited to announce the forthcoming publication of the Collected Stories. Great, bringing together 28 stories in all, including the stories from 2 collections published during Hazard's lifetime, as well as 8 uncollected selections and 2 that have never before seen publication in any form. Fantastic. Okay, all right. Well, this doesn't come out for a while. This doesn't come out until early November, but good Lord. So that is, I'm on board, definitely. I won't read it right away because it's too far down the line. And then we have this last one, and it is also one of these white envelopes, but it's heavy. It could be a finished copy or something. And once again, I'll be calling on all of you to become amateur filmographers. Be sure to tell me how this video looks. Ordinarily, I don't care, right? Ordinarily, as I say often, you don't come to this channel for aesthetics. Maybe if it's Frida, but otherwise, no. But I want it to be at least not painful to look at. So let me know how it looks, how it looks compared to yesterday, how it looks compared to the cell phone, and we will see what we will see. Oh, fantastic. All right, great. Okay. This is another finished copy. This is a pattern that we're seeing here, and I couldn't be happier about it. This is a finished copy of Thomas Schwartz's book, Henry Kissinger and American Power, a political biography. So this is the finished copy. This comes out in late August. I'm reviewing this, and a finished copy of a detailed nonfiction book like this is always a godsend because you have the full notes, the full appendix, everything. You have everything, a lot of which you won't get in the advanced copy. Great. We've already seen this book. Let's see here. There was a time in the 1970s when Henry Kissinger was consistently one of the most popular public figures in America. The role that the former Harvard professor and celebrity diplomat played in opening up relations with China, his part in détente between the United States and the Soviet Union, his negotiations toward an end to the Vietnam War, and his shuttle diplomacy in the Middle East all earned him the approval of a large swath of the American public. Didn't know what they were reading. Of course, Kissinger is also a deeply controversial figure. The part that he played in the covert bombing of Cambodia and his connection to the overthrow of the duly elected Allende government in Chile, in particular, have earned him widespread opprobrium. And the gimmick, the hook, the sort of elevator pitch for this book is that this author is coming to Henry Kissinger without a dog in the race. So this will not be either hagiography or condemnation. That this is going to try to bring to the subject of Henry Kissinger a kind of historian's objectivity. And we will see. We will see. I read a chunk of the advanced copy of this and sort of intentionally put it down. I like the author's writing style, but I wanted the whole critical apparatus of the book. So I will be reading this today, pencil in hand. And Thomas Schwartz is a distinguished professor of history at Vanderbilt University, where he specializes in the foreign relations of the United States. He has served in the State Department's Historical Advisory Committee and as president of the Society of Historians of American Foreign Relations. And this is his third book. So I have a mere 800 words to deal with Henry Kissinger. I don't know exactly where I stand on this. In the past, I have been on record as having mixed feelings about this so-called objectivity of historians, the value of it. I think it can be way overdone. Henry Kissinger is a monster. There isn't any way to get around that, and there isn't any value in pretending that you're some sort of Vulcan, a space alien who's coming to the subject without any idea of what human morals might be. I don't see the value in that. I never have. That is the 19th century German school of history taken to a weird, just the facts, ma'am, exaggerated stance that I don't think serves the cause of history at all. History isn't just to tell the facts. That's what annals are for. Henry Kissinger is a monster. The fact that he's still alive, the fact that there is a rhetorical argument to be made that he did some good in the world is irrelevant. If you have blood on your hands, the blood of whole countries on your hands, then you don't deserve someone coming to your story as a totally objective space alien and saying, well, so what I need to do, I stopped my original reading of this book before I could form a judgment on the historian. I don't have any problem forming a judgment on Henry Kissinger, none whatsoever. I am perfectly open to this historian or any historian pointing out to me aspects of his infamous career that maybe have silver linings to them, but I was watching his career while it was unfolding. I was writing about it while it was unfolding. I don't have any problem judging this figure in American history. But as weird as it might sound to say, I stopped reading this book before I could form a judgment on the historian, which will be a large part of any review of this book. Will be, well, okay, we all know that it's salted earth partisan divide between what you think about Henry Kissinger. Either you are a bad person and you like him, or you're a good person and you hate him. So what is that for a historian? Well, you got to figure that out. When you're writing a review, you have to assess the book as well as the subject. It's going to be tough to do in the tiny amount of space that I have, but I'm very glad to have the finished copy. Fantastic. So that's it. That is an experimental mail haul. These mail hauls will be It's kind of weird to call them experimental when I was filming 5 of them a day on this machine for years, but nevertheless, it's been a while. So I'm hoping that the lighting and the framing and everything is suitable, is acceptable, bearable anyway. So that is the mail. We have a finished copy of Henry Kissinger and American Power. That is great. That goes into the immediate read today. I'll read this tonight. Then we have the collected stories of Shirley Hazard, which sounds like it's going to have, like it's going to be the definitive collection. All of the published work, all of the previously uncollected work, and unpublished work. Great. Fantastic. And then Prefecture D, set in the same world as 6-4. I don't know how many of you may remember that from eons ago on this channel, or who may have read it on your own, but it's great. It's going to be fun to return to that world. Police procedurals especially are on my mind, since for Camp NaNoWriMo in July, I just tried my first police procedural. I work in lethals, and it was mixed. The end result was mixed. Police procedurals are tough to do. Tougher, I might say, than most other kinds of mysteries. And not just because of the zeitgeist of the summer of 2020, where the last thing you want to do is write a book in which a policeman is the hero. But also because the more I wrote I Work in Lethals, the more I thought that unlike any other subdivision of murder mysteries, the only organically sensible ending to a police procedural is for your police figure, your detective or whatever, to die. And I didn't want to kill my detective, because these things happen in series. Police procedurals always happen in series. And yet it seemed to me, the more I thought about it, the more... I don't know, maybe that's the zeitgeist of the summer of 2020 working on me, but it seemed to me, maybe it was just the book I was writing, it seemed to me that my character should die at the end of the book, and in the solving of the problem. I didn't want to do that, so I don't know. I Work in Lethals, I do not count it as a success. Some of the stuff I have written for NaNoWriMo, I got to the end of the story where you finish it, and I thought, okay, that was well done. That felt very satisfying. This was not that. And, neither was the last one. The last Camp NaNoWriMo story that I did at the beginning of the summer was also a murder mystery. It was a historical murder mystery, a kind of country house murder mystery, and it also left me with an unsatisfied feeling. I think probably because I am learning how to do this. I'm teaching myself how to write these things. I don't know. General historical fiction, fantasy, science fiction, those sorts of things I can do. But the hyper structured plot and the deliberate fooling of the reader that has to happen in a murder mystery, I'm not so smooth at that yet. So I have to decide now that Camp NaNoWriMo for July is over. I have to decide, am I going to write something new for NaNoWriMo itself in November, or am I going to try to take all the lessons I learned from the 2 Camp NaNoWriMos about mysteries and write a big murder mystery for NaNoWriMo itself in November? I don't know. I'm not 100% sure. But we'll have plenty of AuthorTube updates of that between now and then. I need to make regular AuthorTube videos every week, and I just don't do it. But anyway, I'm going to wrap this up before it gets too long, and I will see you soon. I'm gonna keep making videos even though they're on the laptop, and we'll just see how that works. Thank you, BookTube.